now start thinking about the future. Think about what skills you think will be important in the future.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Young Leaders Forum. I am honoured to welcome the dignitaries here this morning. Representing the Prime Minister of Australia, the Honourable Tony Abbott, is the Honourable Scott Morrison, MP, Federal Minister for Immigration and Border Protection. The Right Worshipful, the Lord Mayor of Parramatta, Councillor John Shadid. In partnership with the University of Western Sydney, it's such a pleasure to welcome so many high-achieving leaders from the community to join us here at the university today. Today we welcome participants from our local high schools, universities and businesses to take part in this most important forum. Participants will not only learn about leadership but will develop and share opinions and ideas on the future development of Parramatta and Greater Western Sydney.
But I wish you all the best and I wish you all the future. For your hands is what creates our present and our future. I acknowledge you people here. I acknowledge, respect and accept my spirit elders, past and present. Take care, God bless and have a great day.
Welcome all of you here to this inaugural Young Leaders Forum. The great lineup of extraordinary men and women who will address you today will set the tone for the involvement of the whole host of experts who will contribute and guide discussions in our workshops. The lineup of very special, accomplished and inspiring people are here for you. Our next generation of leaders who in years to come will play key roles in developing our vision for Parramatta as a vibrant of the 21st century.
Today you'll be presented with a unique opportunity to contribute your ideas and help to shape the future development of the Parramatta region. Council and UWS are working together to develop Parramatta as a knowledge centre, a city that fosters innovation and research, and a city that lays a platform for future generations to thrive and prosper. Your input, ideas and enthusiasm will be a vital part of this journey.
Many years ago, there was the commander in the first Gulf War, a fellow called General Norman Schwarzkopf, who said this: when placed in command, take charge. That was his secret to leadership. When placed in command, take charge. And I've never forgotten that. And I've always thought through, well, what does that actually mean? How do you go about that task? What is the practical implications of all of those things? And for me, it really boils down to two. And then I'll tell you what it looks like if you are a leader. First of all, it's about character. Character is the most important thing for any leader. Second thing, it's about competence.
And so Beth and the team have asked me to touch on the theme of leadership today, and I wanted to outline the journey that I have had of working in PNG to be able to give you some context as I reflect on my leadership experience. And I know that I'm speaking to a group of people who aspire to developing their leadership skills and capabilities over and above their academic qualifications, and this is actually where it all began for me. Throughout school and uni, I was an extremely hard-working student, and achieving academic excellence was always very high on my priority list. But there was always a desire in me to do more, and an area of my life that needed extra fulfilment. And in my case, I ended up just stumbling onto this leadership path that was never planned and really came about as a result of that first Kokoda crossing. And I think my story is a good example of how you might set out on one path, but that this should never prevent you from being open to what the world will throw at you.
And the interesting thing was that a month before the HSC, we still didn't have our house. So I have to make a decision now. And I realized that from now on, I'm not going to be the victim of my life circumstances because I can't change them at that moment in time. But what I can do is start creating the opportunities. And I realized, okay, well, if I need to study, here's what I'm going to do. I started waking up at 6:30, 7:30 I'd be on a train in Penrith. I'd get to Parramatta Station at 8:30 and I'd wait at Parramatta Westfield. You know where Borders used to be? Opposite Borders. I'd sit there for 1 hour until 9:30 and then I'd try to be the very first person in Parramatta Library. And then I'd study basically every single day. Some weekends there was track work and so I'd have to travel 1.5 hours to Parramatta, study for 1.5 hours, and then travel back for 1.5 hours. And even though I traveled 3 hours and only studied for 1.5 hours, that 1.5 hours was exactly what I needed.
So the element of livability that I looked at was entertainment and culture, which is obviously a major contributor to livability. It's something that certainly Parramatta has potential to develop. I mean, we already know that Parramatta has fantastic eateries, but part of this entertainment discussion that we had also centred around museums and galleries. So again, this was just an element that we could really develop in Parramatta just to draw in a new kind of demographic. So the way that we looked at entertainment and culture was through a concept of magnet infrastructure, which is what Professor Blakely was telling us about. So if you reflect on cities such as London, Paris, New York, they have an element of culture to them that is supported by their infrastructure and definitely a drawing card in terms of livability.
Hey everyone. So for our group, we started off by thinking in 30 years' time, what's Parramatta going to be like? You know, it's going to be an increased population by a lot, especially with the current growth rate. And so we wanted to think about how can we be sustainable. What are the three main areas of sustainability that we need to address? And the first one was energy and recycling. So for more people, we're going to have to use up more resources. And we're going to have to start better harnessing the natural ones like sunlight. And we're going to have to start recycling what we've already used. So we thought first one would be energy architecture, would be kind of important career.
We wanted to firstly see, in terms of what our group thought of government and media, and we started off by asking a question about how many people had actually at any point in time gone to a local MP, a councillor, or to the media on an issue. So I'm going to do the same thing here. How many of you have actually had contact with government, MPs, or the media on an issue? Please raise your hands. Okay, it's pretty similar result to what we had originally. So we wanted to talk about what some of those barriers are and what we could do to change that, to have that level of engagement. So
I think when we look at innovation, there's a few things here, and I think the unique opportunity for Parramatta is that we don't need to compete with the city. We are unique in our own right. We build on our own competitive advantages and build our city for the future. And I think the notion that we're the poor cousin, or Western Sydney's the poor cousin to people of the East, I think we just forget about that. We run our own race and we be the innovative leaders. And it's a mindset in ourselves, but then the city will then have to follow us. And I think when you get to that innovation space, no longer do we need to look behind us at the city, we look in our own direction. And I think if Parramatta can embrace that, we'll find those creative leaders. And the answer to all of that is understanding our own unique competitive advantage. And yes, it is within the diversity of cultures and the rich history that this area has. And by growing that, I think that's an inspiration to find those leaders. But once we get those unique, the next Google or the next iPhone or whatever it is, or the next Richard Branson, it's how do we then commercialise that? How do we actually, because the key for Parramatta and Western Sydney is going to be not just the one Richard Branson, how do we make 20,000 jobs off that? How do we actually employ this region and get it cracking? And I think where you guys have started is pretty awesome.
Money doesn't start from firms, it starts from individuals, and from individuals who have ideas in a trusted space. And so I think we're trying to grow that here. I like your ideas.
Hi everyone, how fortunate we all are to be part of this great forum, the very first of its kind. I'm sure you all have a fantastic day and come forward with some great ideas to benefit this great city of Parramatta. As you know, I am 17 years old and represented Australia in athletics at the 2012 Paralympics. There were many highlights along the way. I loved training, competing, and meeting new people, and of course travelling. However, having said that, the road to London was certainly not easy. I overcame these challenges with sheer determination, hard work, and of course my love of sport.
I was really delighted to lead this wonderful group, and my co-facilitators were absolutely brilliant, and I say that publicly to you. And just a couple of comments that I say in passing. There is only two speeds in this day and age. Now forget about it. See that in the context of innovation and entrepreneurship. And I really mean that. The second one is around innovation and entrepreneurship. One of the beneficiaries, and in my mind, particularly in the context of Parramatta, is reputation. So reputation can be a very positive attribute from what our department looked at today. And the third and final thing, relationships are a currency. See that in the context of collaboration as a new management theory with regards to where innovation and entrepreneurship. So those are the three takeouts for me in our wonderful group.
The one thing that I'd say is there is no chance that technology is going to solve all the issues and problems that are facing and opportunities that are being faced by Parramatta. Congratulations to the Mayor and for facilitating this function today. This places a big responsibility upon your shoulders to act upon what we've talked about today, and I'm sure you're up for it. The one thing that is certain though is that great civilizations have developed in this world of ours at times when the arts and industry and education have all collaborated together. And I think we'd all be encouraging the Mayor and those who are taking leadership roles to step up and look at how we can facilitate that collaboration even more. And it's not anybody's sole responsibility, it's everybody's responsibility to take that leadership role. Everybody in this room should walk away with a commitment to follow up about this whole exercise that we've been at in this entire day. And Mayor, congratulations. We look forward to working with you some more.
I just want to say on behalf of our city and all the people that are here, thank you so much. And we want to congratulate you on your great achievements. You're truly an inspiration to me and many other people. What you've shown me is no one should win your life. Because just watching you, what you've been able to overcome, the challenges in your life, and look at you. You're a true champion, you're a winner, and you'll always be a winner. And I just want to say we are truly honoured to have you with us today, Christy. So on behalf of the city, just got a small gift, a bunch of flowers, and a small gift from our city to say thank you so much for being part of this success.